50 Plus Life on Demand. I'm Louise Skeen, and today is Mindset Monday. And today I'm not answering a question, but I'm coming to you with some tips and strategies on how you cannot overindulge in the holiday season, because that is super important. And of course, that's what we beat ourselves up over at the end of the Christmas time. We think, why did I overindulge? So today I'm going to come to you with a couple of little tips and strategies that you can put into use straight away. There's really no reason why you can't have an awesome Christmas and indulge in some of those wonderful things that we only get at this time of the year, and more importantly, not to feel the guilt around that when you do. So what we've got to understand is that the lifestyles that we're living right at this moment are probably going to get faster between now and December 25th. Now, the reason for that, as you probably know, we're all trying to wind everything up for the year, do our Christmas shopping, make sure we've got all our ducks in a row, the dinner table's going to be right, whatever it might be. You might be a guest at someone's place, and you might need to bring a plate. You might have people coming to you. They're going to assist, or they may not assist, and you've got the whole responsibility of Christmas. And of course, then we've got extended families, and of course you might be having 2 or 3 or even 4 Christmases with just as much pressure because of the extended and broken families and things like that. So look, I totally get it. So it's all important about managing. So even though we might be speeding up right now, then what will happen is Christmas Day will come and we're supposed to take a deep breath and start relaxing. So I want you to take a deep breath and start relaxing right now, okay? Even though you might have a list this big, a list longer than Santa Claus's list, it's important you start to be planned right now as to what it is you are going to need to make it all go very smoothly from this moment forward. So when you finish here with me today, go and write yourself a list. Where are you going to be on December 25th? On December 24th, on December 23rd. Work backwards to today and start to work out what do you need in those days leading up to Christmas to make sure it's going to run as smoothly as possible. How much stock is in your freezer? Do you need to throw anything away? Do you need to restock in any way? What about the pantry? What are you going to buy? How many meals do you have to prepare between now and Christmas? And of course, how many festive meals do you have to prepare? And this is why I'm saying, please be planned. That's the most important thing, because that's going to take a lot of pressure off you when you know exactly what you need for each day that's coming up, or at least closer to the season. So what we do want to do in the Christmas season is we want to relax. We want to be able to take the time out to let the year go and take the time out that we probably didn't give ourselves enough of. So in order to do that again, we've got to make sure that the head chatter that often comes in and beats us up is under control. And the only person who can control that is you. So it's super important again that you are mindful of what it is that you're going to be doing over this time, that you're going to be relaxing. And again, what is involved in that? Are other people involved in that relaxing time with you? Are you only with your current family? Are you going to have a getaway somewhere if you're lucky enough to do that? And this is what I mean. Be very, very planned, because it's super important that you use this time to enjoy yourself and indulge in some of those things that you haven't been able to do all year. But again, we've got to be mindful about 2 things in all of that. One is, what are we putting into our mouths? And 2 is, how are we burning that off? All right. So, excuse me, itchy nose. All right. So the most important things is, we're going to have these opportunities to engage with other people. We're going to have opportunities to go out to restaurants. We're going to have opportunities to go to other people's homes. The food that's going to be presented to us is either going to be a sit-down meal, it could be a smorgasbord, it could be a stand-up do where somebody comes around and serves you little finger foods. Now, this is where I'm suggesting that you be super planned and know what it is you are going to be confronted with, because a sit-down meal is one thing where you tend to order off a menu, and then that one thing that you order tends to be your serving. Now, if that's the case, that works pretty well. But when that happens, what I suggest you do when that meal comes out is halve that meal down and separate it on your plate, and only start to eat half of that meal. Okay, gauge yourself, because you'll be talking and you'll be having a couple of sips of maybe an alcoholic beverage, or even if it's a glass of water, you're still doing lots of things mindlessly. So be very mindful of how much you're eating, what does the food taste like, and to make sure that, again, when you're eating, separating that food means that you're not just going to mindlessly just eat whatever's on your plate and then get to the end of it and think, I don't even remember having that meal. How many times have you done that? So separate it first. Be very mindful of your eating. Be mindful of obviously drinking if you're drinking alcohol at the same time. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But be mindful of the amount of food you're taking. How much are you having in that one sitting? If you're actually in a situation where you're sharing your plates all amongst each other, and this often happens if you're going for a Thai meal or a Chinese meal, where everybody orders something different, everybody puts it in the middle and we all share. Now, when that happens too, sometimes you do eat a little bit less in that situation, because again, whether conscious or unconsciously, you're being a bit mindful as to how much you're actually taking away from somebody else. Okay, you're probably thinking that's true. That's exactly what happens, because we don't want to be the one that goes, sweet and sour chicken. That was magnificent. Let me have some more of that chicken. Let me have some more of that chicken. Yet you might have 4 or 5 people at the table thinking, why is she eating all that chicken? I'd actually like some of that too. So of course, that's where the mindfulness comes in for all of that. So it's the mindfulness I need you to hold on to. Now, when you're actually in a situation where there's a smorgasbord and you go and help yourself, this is where, again, you need to be mindful of, are you going to be allowing yourself to have some of the foods that you don't normally have that are very good for you? For example, if you love seafood like I do, if there's a spread of prawns on the table, prawns are not something that I indulge in on a regular basis because they're costly. So this is the time at Christmas where I'm going to have that little bit more of seafood and not feel the guilt, because I know it's really good for me. It's got my omegas in it and so much goodness in that seafood. So I'm going to feel happy to do that. But do I need to have the bread roll on the sides? Do I need to have the little treats that might be like vol au vents that are filled with a pate or something in it? Do I actually need those high salt, high fat foods? Or should I be going more for the wholesome foods that I don't normally get? So in a smorgasbord situation, that's what I'd like you to think about. Now, if you're in a situation where you're standing around, you've got a drink in your hand, somebody is coming around and serving, it could be chicken pieces or fried fish, little pieces, or anything that's finger food. Again, be very mindful about how much of that you're taking and how has it been prepared. Now, I know that if I'm going to go to a situation where it is walk around food, 90% of the time that food is very deep fried food, because that's how they prepare it, so that you can just take a finger, a bite-sized piece of it. So I tend to like to have a meal before I go, or half a meal before I go to a function like that, so that when I'm standing around, I'm not saying no to everything, but I am seen to be having a little bit, which means that I'm contributing and being part of the event, because there's nothing worse when you've got someone standing there going, no, I'm not eating, no, I'm not eating, don't serve me anything, I'm not eating, I'm looking after my health. Then you start to look like a bit of a Christmas Scrooge. Is that true to say? So again, you want to be part of it, but you don't have to have it every time that a platter comes around. You don't have to pick something off it. So I hope that helps in that little tip. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is, please, again, when it comes to alcohol, be very aware of how much you're having. It's that mindfulness I need for you to be aware of each time, because when we're in a situation where we're chatting around with a whole lot of people, sometimes someone thinks they're looking after you by filling your glass up time and time again, and before you know it, you've had 4, but you think you've only had 1, maybe 2. So again, that mindfulness is super important. Also, alternate. Have 1 glass of water or sparkling mineral water with a piece of lemon or lime, and then have the next one as a glass of wine or an alcoholic beverage. Then go back to the glass of water again and switch it over to the next one. You will find that you will have a much better recovery the next morning, and you'll feel better about yourself. You won't beat yourself up the next day if you are mindful about the amount of alcohol. If you're drinking wine, don't be afraid to drop some ice cubes in it. It does help a little bit because it's watering it down, okay? Yes, you can do that. There's no law to say you can't do that. Okay, the other thing with alcohol again is don't be pressured is what I'm trying to say. Don't be pressured that you must be consuming alcohol, particularly if it's a daytime event. If you don't normally drink in the day, just don't. Okay, just don't do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Stand in your own ground. You are the driver of your vehicle. So definitely stand your own ground and just do what you're comfortable with, okay? The other thing, the most important thing, one of the things that too many women that I talk to do this, is they don't eat all day. They go, oh my gosh, I've got an event on tonight. I am not having any breakfast or lunch or snacking. I'm doing nothing so that when I get to this party, I can have anything that I want. And I tell you what, you most certainly will, because you'll get to that party or that event and you will so overindulge yourself that you will feel disgusted with yourself. It doesn't work to stop putting food in your body all day, because your body needs fuel every moment of the day. So please make sure you've got sufficient to last you around 5 to 5.5 hours from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. You want to have fuel in your body to think. You want to have fuel in your body to move your body. And of course, you will be exercising each day, so you need fuel in your body to do that. By having a nice high protein breakfast and then having maybe a lunch that's more a salad based lighter lunch, so you're not getting that heavy bread feeling, you will go into an event in the evening feeling really great about yourself and deserving of those beautiful foods that again, that you're going to control what you have, that's going to be beneficial for you nutrient wise, with a couple of little indulgences in there that you're not going to feel guilty about. All right. The other thing is, again, we spoke about the water. Just keep that going all day, not only just at the event with alternating with drinks, but certainly keep it going all day so that you've got plenty of water in your system, which really does help. And of course, don't go in with an all or nothing approach. And I think too many people have already adopted this approach. They're already thinking, oh, look, we've got Christmas coming up, New Year's Eve coming up. It's going to be an indulge. I'll just stop what I've been doing all year and being good. I'm just going to let it all go. And of course, when January 1 comes around, I'll start all over again with a New Year's resolution. That all or nothing approach is not going to serve you. It's just going to reignite the head chatter that's going to beat you up and just give you so many untruths about yourself that your self-esteem is going to go down the gurgler. All right, so please be mindful all the time of what you're doing. Nothing needs to change today, tomorrow, or on December 25th, okay? Nothing needs to change. We all need to eat. We all need to move our bodies. And so therefore, you're going to feel better about yourself when you're prepared and planned. So I know that's a whole lot of information there for Mindset Mondays, but I hope you can get some real nuggets out of this. Let me know if there's anything that resonates with you, because I want to make sure that I can help you feel really great about yourself, that you'll come through Christmas feeling really, really, really positive so that you can go into the new year, just keep on driving your vehicle forward. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.